Hello, boys and girls. Here's another bedtime story for you, Gilbert the Hero. I hope that you enjoy it. It is written and illustrated by Jane Clark and Charles Fuge. This is my little brother Finn. Gilbert, the great white shark, proudly told his friend Rita Remora, "Mom says he can come to the park with us. We can teach him all our games. But he's too small to play with us," Rita grumbled. "He'll ruin everything." "No, he won't," Gilbert grinned. "We'll have great fun together. Come on." Gilbert took off by the fin as they all swam off to the park. "Don't let Finn out of your sight," Mrs. Munch called after them. "Let's go on the seesaw first," Gilbert said, sitting Finn on the low end. Rita sat with Finn to balance it. "Hold tight," she called, as Gilbert hurled himself on the high end. Thump! The seesaw hit the seabed. Whee! Finn and Remora catapulted out of the water, somersaulted through the air, and fell back into the ocean with a splash. "Wah!" yelled Finn. "Wah!" "Finn's too small for this game," Rita told Gilbert. "How about a game of Finnball?" Gilbert placed an empty sea urchin in front of his little brother. "Now whack it with your tail," he said. Finn flapped his tail with all his might, but he couldn't hit the sea urchin. "Wah!" he yelled. "Wah!" "Never mind," Gilbert told him. "I'll flick it to you. You try to stop it." "Be careful, Gilbert," called Rita, but it was too late. Gilbert flicked the urchin hard with his tail. Thunk! The urchin hit Finn in the tummy. "Wah!" he yelled as he was bowled over and over and over. "Finn's too small for this game too," said Rita. "You're right," Gilbert sighed. "We can't play any of our old games with Finn." "Cheer up," Rita said. "Let's put him on the seaweed swing while we think of something else." Gilbert and Rita watched Finn swing to and fro on the seaweed swing at the edge of the park. The little shark chuckled as a school of silvery fish shimmered around him. "Finn's having fun now," Rita smiled. "But it isn't very exciting, is it?" Gilbert grumbled. Just then, Marvin the mallet zoomed into the park on his skate. "Now that's what I call exciting," Gilbert said. Marvin skidded to a halt in front of Gilbert and Rita. "Want to turn?" he asked. Gilbert's eyes lit up. "Yes, please," he said. "What about Finn?" Rita asked. "He'll be okay," said Gilbert. "We can keep an eye out for him." Gilbert checked that his little brother was safely strapped in his swing. "We won't be long," he told Finn. Gilbert and Rita whizzed around the park, waving at Finn every time they passed the swing. Finn giggled happily as they skated by. But all of a sudden, the sea behind the seaweed swing went as dark as night. The school of fish scattered into a shower of sparkles, and an enormous whale swept out of the seaweed with a beak full of fish. Dun, dun, dun! A killer whale! Gilbert was so shocked he fell off the skate. "Wah!" Finn yelled. "Wah!" The whale's eyes widened as it spat out its mouthful of tiny fish. "Oh no!" gasped Gilbert. "It's seen Finn." "And you strapped him in the swing," Rita cried. "Finn's trapped. That whale will eat him for lunch." No, they have to rescue their friend. "Not if I can help it," said Gilbert, thrashing his tail with all of his might. The water churned and foamed as he rocketed towards his little brother. But would he get there in time? The whale opened his jaws, just as Gilbert chomped through the seaweed swing and dragged Finn away. "Phew!" Gilbert sighed. That was close. But the whale wasn't giving up that easily. "Look, it's coming back," cried Rita. "Rita, we had to get out of here, Gilbert." "The wreck," Gilbert gasped. "We can hide in the wreck." Gilbert and Rita swam frantically toward the wreck, dragging Finn's swing between them. The whale's jaws snapped at their tails. He's really looking out for his brother. Quick, hide in there! Gilbert pushed Finn and Rita towards a small hole in the wreck. He dived into the cabin. The sea swirled as the whale nosed around the wreck. It was getting closer and closer to Gilbert's hiding place. Gilbert shuddered as an enormous black eye filled the cabin window. He held his breath. Thunk! The whale's head stuck in the window frame. Crack! The wood splintered as it backed away. You are too big to get us, Gilbert grinned. Then, with a flick of his tail, the whale was gone. You can come out now, Gilbert called to Rita and Finn. The whale is gone. But there was no sign of Finn or Rita. Gilbert felt his stomach sink. He frantically searched all the empty hiding places. Had the whale eaten Finn and Rita? Boo! Finn and Rita popped out of a barrel on the seabed. Arr! Gilbert yelled, leaping into the sea and flapping his fins in surprise. Do it again, chuckled Finn. Rita giggled. You were right, Gilbert, she said. It is fun playing with Finn, and he's really good at one of our games. Tide and seek. Instead of hide and seek, tide and seek. Gilbert grinned. Boys and girls, I hope that you liked that story. Good night. Gilbert the hero.